Me 29, male with my long-term girlfriend, 28 female. I proposed. She said no. I snooped and found another guy. We've known each other for 13 years. We've been dating for 7 and living together for 5. We've had out little spats over the years, but we never really had any type of fights. We seemed to just get along with each other. I proposed to her this week. It was the scariest thing I had ever done. I was nervous, but I knew that I wanted this and that she loved me. She said no. I was heartbroken, but we were finally able to have the talk. She told me some of the issues she had with me, and I did the same. Most of them were ones I had already acknowledged to myself and was already attempting to do better with. She told me she loved me, but she wasn't sure if she was still in love with me. That she thought I was miserable and happy with her. I asked her if there was someone else, and she said no. I trusted her. She never gave me a reason not to. A couple of days later, it started to eat away at me. For the first time in our entire relationship, I violated her privacy and trust. I found out that she had been unhappy for a while. She would complain to her friends about me. She talked to them about how tired she was of us and that she was only staying around until it was closer to our lease renewal. I also found some messages from an old college friend. I knew about this guy. Met him once. I never really liked him, but she said he was just a friend, and I left it at that. A couple of times over the years, I have asked her about him, and it was always the same. I found out that she has been seeing him for at least the last 3 months. When she got home from work, I confronted her. I asked her if she had anything she wanted to tell me. She kept saying no, that she didn't. When I told her I knew who it was and had proof and that I wanted her to say his name, she got mad. I made her leave that night. I know that we had our problems, and I tried to talk with her about them. She would always shut me out if things got too confrontational. I feel so betrayed, knowing that she was telling me that she loves me and still making plans with me while telling him that she couldn't wait until we were over. He was her safe place now. I hold no grudge against him. I'm just having a really hard time dealing with it. She's apparently had months to get over it and had someone to tell her all the right things. It doesn't feel like she is remorseful or sorry that our relationship has ended. Watching her move her stuff out was one of the hardest things I had to do. With every trip, more and more of her and just left. I know it's going to be a long and hard road ahead of me, but I still have so many questions.
I'm not sure if you'll ever see this since it's a throwaway account, but having gone through breakups before, I'd like to offer you this: instead of deleting her number, save it under something like do not pick up and change your ringtone for calls and texts to one unique to only that contact. Why? Because for the next few weeks, when things are the most raw, with every phone call and text you get, there will be a small voice in the back of your mind screaming, "Is that her? I wonder if she wants to talk." Changing the ringtone for that contact eliminates the wondering every time you reach for the phone because you know it can't be her, and stops you from wondering, which I believe helps the process. Very good idea. Work on building yourself back up. My last breakup, this summer, very closely resembles this, albeit more mild in literally every aspect, and what I personally got from it was don't dwell, learn from everything that happened, and grow. Use it to become a bigger, better, 2.0 version of you. Besides, they say living well is the best revenge. Good luck, buddy. I'm rooting for you. I've asked her some questions, but I get a lot of I don't knows as answers. Because she doesn't think about it. When my depression was peaking, for example, and I was not conscious of its influence, there were so many times I just did not know. Or I wouldn't open up. Would you say she speaks up about her emotions much? I know that our relationship is done with, but I need to ask these questions, so I can move on and deal with it. In my experience, I never got those answers. It is a horrible feeling, and I spent years digging up the answers on my own, after pouring tons of blame on myself. Just be sure you don't beat yourself up too much. We all do some wrong things, but not everything. She may shut you out, because talking would mean her issue, the issue I suspect she is running from, would come up. Whenever my issue would come up in conversation, I would go ballistic, because I had all these unhealthy coping mechanisms to keep me buoyant. Why would we need to talk about it? This is, IMO, partly why she avoids confrontation so much. She has, for her life, avoided talking about the thing that truly troubles her, and it's led to this behavior and cognition she has today. Or maybe it relates to her family life. Some might be why her family did not know. Plus, her family would more likely support you, the boyfriend of 7 years. What the hell business did she have buying a house with you if she's been seeing this other guy for 3 months? She was seeing him before she was going to buy a house with you, and she wanted to go through with it. I mean, even if she was going to lie to you about the other guy, it's pretty damn horrible to make a huge commitment like that just to put a front on the lie. It sucks that you got hurt, but I think it saved you from making a huge mistake because of your ignorance of her infidelity. Be glad of that. And if she couldn't offer you support and comfort when you were hurt, then she isn't wife material. In sickness and in health. I am really sorry for your position right now, and I hope you release and get a move on with your life. Quite frankly, I would advise you to ask those questions that you want to ask when she comes, so that you can have this burden off your chest. It would be easier now, rather than spend weeks or months second-guessing over what happened and why it happened. You are right in saying that she cheeked out of a relationship months ago because she stayed with you and kept the other guy as a backup plan so that she does not have to be alone when she leaves you. It is doubtful that her new relationship will work because she has been playing the both of you, and relationships that start with such little games never work. You can see this as a lesson learned in life and use this as a preparation for a new and loving relationship that you will have in the future. Do not let this experience blacken your heart, let it teach you wisdom. Try and prepare yourself in case she tries to come back. In my experience, I've seen people leave the long-term relationships for something new and exciting, only to realize after a short while that being with a new person full-time isn't what they thought. The thrill of the taboo is gone, and they begin to miss the comfort and bond of the previous relationship. It is hard to say, because there isn't much to go off with regard to their relationship, but I still think you should mentally prepare yourself for this to happen in a few months. I'm sorry, but you'll probably never get closure from her. She has lied to you for over 3 months, and that's the lying you know about. Who knows what she's been keeping from you for the past 7 years? Needless to say, in her mind she owes you nothing, and will give you just that. What you need to tell yourself is that closure doesn't matter. Knowing in reality will not make it easier, but harder to get over. Really, it's best if you don't know, because then you start to think you did something wrong, which you didn't. The only one at fault here is your ex. She didn't have the maturity to talk to you like an adult to fix your problems. Instead, she goes behind your back and hooks up with some other guy. What's done is done. She has been disrespectful towards you, lied to your face, and she wasted your time and feelings, so fuck her. Go out with your friends and meet new people not like her or her shitty friends who would support such shitty behavior. You're better than that. You deserve better. I know I am late to this thread, but I will throw some advice your way. A big reason we feel the way we do is because of the perspective we have on a particular situation. You have viewed your relationship as a work of art, something you've put your heart and soul into, and then out of nowhere it gets defaced, and you can't do anything to repair it. Art is representative of your life, but just because something has altered it doesn't mean it's any less meaningful. All that has happened is that you've been given more canvas to work with. So instead of painting something dark and dreary, find some new motivation and create something beautiful and build off of what you already have. I wish you the best of luck, and while you may not ever see this, I'm here for you, sir! Sincerely, Commodus.